Hey everyone, in this video we are going to build a fully functional analog clock using just HTML and CSS and JavaScript. We'll start by creating the clock structure, style it with CSS and bring it to life using JavaScript. Let's begin by creating the structure of our analog clock. We'll start with the div with class clock, which will act as a container. Inside this we add 3 div elements, one for each hour, minute and second hands. We also add an image of clock face using image tag. This image will stay static while the hands will rotate using JavaScript. Now coming to CSS, we start by resetting the default browser styles using universal selector. We set both padding and margin to 0 to eliminate any unexpected spacing. Then we set box sizing to border box, which makes sure that the padding and border are included in a element's total width and height. This helps in creating consistent layouts. Next, we style the body tag. We give it a height of 100 VH, which means it will take up the full height of the browser window. For the background, we use linear gradient that transitions from bright green to at the top to a dark gray at the bottom. This creates a nice contrasting effect that helps the clock stand out. The clock class styles a main circular container. We set the width and height to 320 pixels and apply border radius by 50% to make it perfectly circular. To center it on the screen, we use position absolute and then move it to the center using top 50% and left 50% followed by the transform translate minus 50% minus 50%. This shifts it back to by half its own size, achieving the perfect centering. The background color is a dark shade, matching the bottom half of our gradient. The box shadow adds both an outer shadow and an inner glow, giving it a depth. Finally, we add a thick border to visually separate the clock face from the background. Any images inside the clock will be positioned relatively. This can be useful if we want to absolutely position child elements inside them later. The hand class is a base style for all three clock hands, hour, minute and second. Each hand is absolutely positioned, centered horizontally using left 0 and right 0 along with margin auto. We set the white background color and slightly rounded corners using border radius 5px. Most importantly, we set transform origin bottom. This ensures that when we rotate the hands using JavaScript, they will rotate around their base just like in a real clock. The R hand is the thickest and shortest. We gave it a width of 10px and a height of 60px and position it down by 100px from the top of the clock container. The minute hand is thinner and slightly longer than the hour hand. If we give it a height of 80px and narrow width of 3px, it's positioned 80px from the top so that it starts a bit higher than the R hand. The second hand is the thinnest and longest of all. Its height is 90px, width 3px and it starts at 70px from top. Unlike the other hands, it uses green accent color, which ties back to our background gradient and adds a visual highlight to the moving seconds. With this CSS, we have created a stylish and centered analog clock interface. Now coming to JavaScript, first we grab the three hand elements using document.query selector. We store them in a variables named hour, minute and seconds. This will allow us to update their rotation every second. Next, we set up set interval function that runs every 1000 milliseconds or once every second. Inside it, we create a new date object to get the current time. Then we extract the hours, minutes and seconds using getHours, getMinutes and getSeconds function. Now we calculate how many degrees each hand needs to rotate. The hour hand moves 30 degrees per hour plus 0.5 degrees for each minute. The minute glass moves 6 degrees per minute plus a little extra based on the current seconds. And the second hand moves 6 degrees per second since 360 degree divided by 60 seconds is 6. Finally, we apply the calculated rotation to each hand using the style.transform property. This makes each hand rotate to the correct position and it updates every second. Hey everyone, just a quick note. I realized that I accidentally added wrong ID to one of the elements earlier in this video. And here's the final result. Our analog clock is now fully functional. The hands are rotating smoothly, just like a real clock. This was a great example of combining HTML, CSS and JavaScript to build something interactive. Happy coding and see you next time.